Aloha, welcome to Yoga on the Beach. This is at Cam 3. It's a beach down in South Kihei. And today we're going to be practicing some core and balance and opening and work on some shoulders and trap muscles. So to start, we'll find that comfortable seat, root down through the sits bones, allow the tailbone to be drawn long towards the earth, the crown lifting up towards the sky. Find the length in the spine. Allow the shoulders to melt away from the ears. Your palms can face up towards the sky, or your palms can face down on the legs for a little grounding effect. Noticing your breath, your body, beginning to tune in to how the breath flows in and out of the nose, where it goes, how it fills up the lungs. And find a few deeper breaths, inhaling deeper into your belly, allowing it to expand into the sides bodies, the back body, filling up the entire torso on every inhalation and releasing it out, drawing the belly button in towards the spine on your exhalations. And flipping the palms to face down on the knees, finding that long spine, to then inhale and start to lift the chest, lift the chin up, open the throat, find the breath flowing down into the belly, and as you exhale, start to round through the back body, separate the shoulder blades, draw the chin towards the chest. Inhale to lift up, rise up, open up through the front body. The exhale to draw the shoulder blades apart, draw the belly button in towards the spine, curl that tailbone under slightly. The inhale to lengthen, open up through the front, draw the tailbone back. The inhale to lift, the exhale to start to round. Inhale to lift up and open up through the front. The exhale to round and open up through the back. Find your breath with your movement, noticing every natural curve of the spine. And starting to neutralize once again through the spine. Rooting down through those sits bones, touch the hands down to either side. And you can touch the fingertips or the palms. Find the inhale to lengthen, the exhale to take that left ear to the left shoulder. Breathe into the right side of the neck. Keep the jaw loose. All the facial muscles relax. And gently start to turn the nose towards that shoulder, looking down to your left fingertips. Taking that breath into the back side of the neck from the crown down to the shoulder. The inhale back up to center. Take a breath here. Inhale to lengthen. The exhale to take that right ear to the right shoulder. Breathe into the left side of the neck. Relax through the jaw. Keep the fingertips connected, the length of the spine long. And then go ahead and turn the nose towards that shoulder, looking down to the right fingertips, keeping the eyes closed. Breathe into the back side of the neck from the crown down to the shoulder. Inhale to turn, lift the head back up to center, take a breath. Very nice. Loosening through both sides, feeling into both sides of the neck, wiggling however you need to then find that in-breath to take the arms, reach them up overhead, touch the hands at the top of the exhale, bring hands down, heart center. 2 more times. Inhale, reach, lengthen, lift up, touch at the top, exhale, bring hands down, heart center. Keep the shoulders soft, down away from the ears. Inhale, reach, lengthen, lift up. The gaze can follow, or eyes can stay closed. Touch, exhale, bring hands down, heart center. Take a breath here. One more. To reach the arms up overhead, And then start to turn. Touch that left hand down to the knee, the right hand back behind you. Find the in-breaths to lengthen through the crown, the exhale to turn and look over that right shoulder. Every in-breath to find the length, every exhale to turn. Your next in-breath to come back to center, then exhale to turn the other direction. The right hand comes down to the knee, the left hand touches down behind you. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to turn and look over that left shoulder. Gentle twist. In-breath, come back to center, reach arms up. Exhale, touch hands down to the legs. Begin to find a transition to move yourself forward into the all fours, where the hands directly under the shoulders, the knees directly under the hips. Then walk the hands forward to find a puppy pose. Release the hips up and back, the forehead coming down to the earth. Breathe into the sides bodies, melt the heart, draw the shoulder blades together, relax through the jaw. And then start to lower the hips towards the heels a little bit more to find a child's pose. The knees are together to feel the breath. And then start to take that right hand onto the back body to breathe into the right side of the neck, and maybe play with that head positioning to turn the head with the right cheek connecting while the right arm is back onto the side or on the back body, breathing into the neck. And before you reconnect that hand, you can turn the head back to center and then switch sides so that the left arm comes down onto the back body, the back of the hand resting on the low back, or down to the side. And then you can turn the head to where the left cheek connects to the mat. Breathe into that side of the neck. And then resume back at center, taking both hands back up to the top of the mat. Breathe here. Good. And then go ahead and slither your way forward. Come onto your belly. Turn the head so that the left cheek connects. Take both hands down to either side. Wiggle the hips. Take a bend in that left knee and reach for the ankle or the foot with that left hand. And if your fingers don't quite meet the toes or the hand or the foot, then you can take a strap if you have one, or a towel to wrap it around that foot. And once you have the connection, then start to press that foot into the hand to then draw that left shoulder up off of the mat. So you're pressing, playing with the activation of the foot, holding for a couple of breaths until finally releasing that foot down. Wiggling through the hips, once again, left and then right. Turning the head so the right cheek connects. Bend through the right knee. Connect either the hand, a strap, or a towel around that right foot, ankle, or toes, to then start to press the foot into the hand and lift up off that right shoulder as you press off. So the foot pressing into the hand is what is actually doing the lifting of the shoulder to release through the neck. Take a couple breaths, keep the activation in the toes. And then finally release both legs, both hands, wiggle through the hips, left and then right. Very nice. And then you're taking the hands so that the palms are facing down, and you're going to take that right leg back behind you. So you're coming into a reverse twist. So you're kind of opening up through that left shoulder with that right leg out to the opposite side. So you're opening up through the pec muscle. Take a couple breaths. And when you're ready, you can resume back to center. And the same thing on the other side, turning the head so your right cheek is connected. Take that left leg over to your right side. So you're coming into this reverse twist where you're feeling that opening in that right pec muscle into that right shoulder. Take a couple breaths this side. And then resuming back to center, wiggling the hips left and then right, release through the low back. We're going to come into a Sphinx pose where your elbows connect under the shoulders. You're going to start with the bottom half of you. So taking the toes, spreading them wide, connect the tops of the feet to the mat. Press them down. Engage through those inner thighs, the tops of the thighs press down onto the mat. Then start to find that length in the spine. Release the shoulders away from the ears. Pull the heart forward as the elbows and the fingers and the hands draw towards you. Take a breath there, and then begin to release that back to come back into that puppy pose, bending the knees underneath the hips, pressing the hips up and back. Release the heart. And then find your next breath to come into this tabletop pose. Rooting down so that you can take this right leg up into the sky. Press the bottom of the foot into the sky and start to move it up and down to get into that right glute. Keep your gaze low, the spine long. Breathe in and out. You can move fast or slow with the leg and count to about 25 to 30 with these movements. And then curl in, draw the nose to the knee to the nose. Press that foot back, reach and lengthen, and then exhale, bring it in. Inhale to reach, lengthen, press it back. And then exhale, draw it in. Round through the shoulder blades. Inhale and release. Shake the hips left and right. Start to go to the left side. Bend through that knee, the 90 degrees. The bottom of the foot is reaching into the sky as you pump the foot up and down to get into that left glute. Do this about 25 to 30 breaths. So you can move fast with the breath, the inhale, exhale as you move up and down, or you can just breathe slowly into this movement. And then the exhale to release that knee to the nose. Inhale to press it back. The exhale to draw it in. Inhale to press it back. And the exhale, and release the breath to draw the knee in. Inhale, lengthen, and then release down. Wiggle the hips left and then right. Look over the shoulders. Come back to neutral. And then take that knee up into the sky, exhaling up into the tricep. Inhale to lift up, open it up, and come into the tricep. So you're making big circles with this hip. You're pressing it up into the sky, opening it up like a dog peeing on a fire hydrant, and then pulling it up into the tricep, pushing it back, up and around. Moving with your breath, the inhale to come up, the exhale to come back to the tricep. And lower down and try with the other side. The inhale to lift it up to the sky, open it up to the side, exhale into the tricep. Inhale to lift up, open, exhale to come in. Inhale to push up, open it out to the side, up to the tricep, exhale, move it up on an inhale, open it up, moving with your breath, your speed. And then releasing it down, wiggle the hips left and then right. Start to find that child's pose. Release the elbows, release the wrists. You can take the arms to either side of you to release the neck and the shoulders here, or just flip the palms face up to release the wrists. Take a breath. Good. Once you find your breath and you've reconnected and you've rested through the arms, the wrists, the neck, you can then continue on into that tabletop pose. Curl the left toes under, press that heel back, activate through that leg, then inhale, lift it up parallel to the mat. Inhale to lift the right hand parallel to the mat as if shaking the hand across from you. Find a breath to lengthen, and then the exhale to round in, bring the elbow to the knee. This balancing core. Exhale to round in, inhale to reach and lengthen. Exhale to draw it in. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to draw it in. And then there's a bird. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, and release it down. Wiggle the hips left and then right, neutralize through the spine. And then move to the other side, curling the right toes, press that heel back, activate through the leg. Inhale to lift it parallel as you lift that left hand parallel to the mat as well. Find the length on an in-breath, the exhale to round it in. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to round the knee to the elbow. Inhale, reach, exhale, draw it in. Reach and lengthen, exhale to draw it in. Move with your breath. Release it down, neutralizing through the spine. Taking a couple cat-cows to release the crown long as you exhale, the belly button in towards the spine. The inhale to lift up, open the chest. And the exhale to round. And starting to find this downward dog, curl the toes. Release the shoulders towards one another, wiggle the hips. You can walk your dog, bending one knee and then the other. Finding the length in the entire back body, from crown to tailbone down to the heels. Inhaling to lift that right leg high into the sky. Exhale to bend the knee, draw it into the nose. Inhale to lengthen, reach it away, find your core. Exhale, draw it in. A couple more times. Inhale, reach it long. Exhale, draw it in. 2 more. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to draw it in. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale to draw it in. Good. Last one to lengthen. This time exhaling, draw it in, step it up. Find a low lunge, draw that left knee down to the mat. Take the left top of the left foot down. Release the hips, find that focus so that you can balance lifting yourself up. Once you are here in this lunge, you can begin to inhale and lift the spine even more. Release the hips down and take the fingertips up overhead. Exhale to bend the elbows, draw the shoulder blades together, open up. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, bend the elbows. You can do a few lion's breaths here if you'd like. The inhale to lengthen, the exhale to breathe it out. Stick out the tongue. Inhale to lengthen, reach up. The exhale to breathe it out. Good. Pause here. Take a breath. And then find an inhale, lift the hands, touch them together. Exhale to bring them down to heart center. Then find the in-breath to lift up. Exhale to turn and twist. You can stay here or you can take the left elbow and connect it to that right knee. Press the hands together to open up the chest. Draw the shoulder blades together. Or you can stay at that center point. Staying lifted. Take a breath. Find the balanced inhale, then find the center, unwind, exhale to touch the hands down to the inside of that leg, and in breath to take that leg back towards that tabletop pose and then lift back up into your downward dog. Or you can go directly into your downward dog and skip going into the tabletop. Shake through the hips, left and then right, neutralize the spine. Inhale, lift up the left leg, exhale to round it in, draw it into the knee. Knee to the nose, inhale to lengthen, exhale to draw it in 5 times. Inhale, lift up, exhale to round it in. 2 more. Inhale, lift up, exhale, draw it in. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to draw it in. Last one. Reach and extend. Exhale this time, stepping it up and forward into that low lunge. Release the right knee, release the top of the right foot. Lower the hips, find your balance to then inhale your way up to that knee, lengthening through the spine, releasing the hips low. You can take the hands to the hips to keep them forward facing. Breathe in, reach arms up overhead. And the exhale to bend the elbows, draw the shoulder blades together. Cactus arms. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to breathe it out. Your lion's breaths if you'd like. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, breathe it out. Lift up. Exhale to breathe it out. Very nice. Inhale to lengthen. And the exhale to breathe it out. Stay here for a breath. Good. In breath, reach arms up, touch the hands together. Exhale, bring hands down, heart center. Inhale to lift the chest into the thumbs. Exhale to turn and twist. Look to the side. Be here, or you can take that right elbow down to the left knee. Press into the hands, separate or draw the shoulder blades more onto the back body. And as you are ready, you can unwind, taking the in-breath to come back to center, reaching the arms up overhead, and the exhale to touch the hands down to the inside of that left foot. Bring the left leg long back behind you. You can go through that downward dog or be in the tabletop pose first, and then lift up into that downward dog. Good. Find the inhale, pull forward for a plank. Find the length, engage those inner thighs, zip up through the core. If you would like, you come down to your knees if this does not feel okay for your low back or your toes. Be here, keep the hands under the shoulders, breathe deeply into your core, keep the crown reaching long, the spine is long. Be here for several breaths. And your exhale to press your way back into that downward dog. Very nice. Starting to look up towards the top of the mat, bend through the knees, walk your way up into that halfway lift to touch the hands to the shins, and exhale to fold. Release the neck here as you shake the head yes or no. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows, or you can take the hands underneath the toes, bend the knees a lot to massage through the wrists, release the neck here, allow this waterfall to flow from the tailbone down to the crown. You can straighten the knees as you feel comfortable to breathe into the backs of the legs. And then release the hands, inhale to halfway lift, connect hands to shins, present the heart, the exhale to fold, dive it forward. And then inhale, press through the bottoms of the feet, stand your way up to Tadasana to bring the hands down to the heart center. Good, strong standing pose to then find this balancing pose of tree pose. You can stay at the top of your mat. I'm going to turn towards the camera so that you can see the leg action. Rooting down through the right foot to ground down. Grow your roots long through the right foot. Then start to lift up the left heel onto above your ankle, turn the knee out. You can either leave it at the ankle, just above the ankle, or you can lift it up to the calf or all the way up to the inner thigh, either above or below the knee or above the ankle if you're keeping the kickstand. Keep the hands on the hips as you open that knee up a little bit more. Keep the hips facing forward. Or you can bring the hands up into prayer, or grow your tree long by lifting the arms up into the sky, reaching the branches, opening up. Keep the heart lifted, the shoulders away from the ears, and find that engagement to release the opposite direction all the way down to both feet on the ground. Wiggle through the hips, bend through the knees, and then root down more through that left foot. To then open up the right knee out to the side. Put the heel up on that left leg for a kickstand. Keeping the knee open, you can either press it up onto that inner calf area, so you're pressing the foot into the leg as you're pressing the standing leg down, growing the roots. And then you can even try to take that right foot up on top of, above the knee onto the inner thigh. Find where you are comfortable. And then allow your hands to either stay at the hips or come to prayer in front of the heart center, or grow your branches, lifting them up, reaching tall. Keep your focal point. It can be a little wavy. If you fall out, that's okay. Go back in. Growing your branches, reaching long, teetering, but being with it. Okay. Take a few breaths and find that control to release out the opposite direction. Taking the leg down to meet the other leg, wiggle through the hips, left and then right. Good. And then find that standing pose once again, engaging those inner thighs to inhale, lift up, exhale to draw yourself forward, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, hands connect to the shins or the mat. And then the exhale to step your way back into that downward dog. Very nice. And then from here, taking the knees as wide as the sticky mat, toes to touch, press the hips back towards your heels, child's pose. Restful child's pose. Release the elbows, release the head to a block or to the mat. Relax through the jaw. Good. Allow yourself to breathe deeper into the back body, right between the shoulder blades. Eventually starting to inhale and press your way back up to sitting on your heels. And then starting to take the legs out in front of you. Come to the center of your mat. where the knees are bent, the feet are planted. Going to connect the hands down to your sides, either with the fingers pointed towards you or the fingers pointed away from you. You're going to draw the shoulder blades more onto the back body, away from the ears. Open up through the chest, root the sits bones. Then start to come into this boat pose where your knees, your feet can come up. Keep the chest lifted, and maybe lift up the arms up to either side. And play with this boat pose where you can touch one foot down or the other foot. Maybe find the legs and extend them up and open up with the shoulder blades drawing back. Lift up through the chest. Take a couple deep breaths in your fullest expression of the pose today. And as you exhale, release everything down to the mat. Release all the muscles of the legs completely. Release through your belly, your shoulders, your neck, your jaw. Very nice. And then start to bend through the knees, plant or take the bottoms of the feet together, and then take your fingers, your hands over one another, and we're starting some core where you can inhale to reach towards the toes, the exhale to come down, inhale to reach, exhale to come down. And if you want an added challenge, you can lift the feet up off of the mat as you move your way in through these crunches, up and down with your breath. Releasing down, reaching the arms up overhead to give your abs a big stretch. Very nice. Take the knees up, back to center. And then we're going to move into another variation of some core work where you can interlace the fingers, point the pointer finger towards the toes with one leg lifted. And you can do a few on this side, the inhale to reach, the exhale to come down, inhale to reach, exhale to come down. You can do both toes, both feet, all 10 toes, and reach towards both feet that way. And then you can also do the other side, extending the one leg down and one leg up into the sky. Again, lifting the shoulders up off of the mat, pointing the fingers towards the toes, reaching up and down. Maybe moving through 10 on each side and 10 in the middle. And then reach the arms up overhead, release both legs, release the abs. And to give your abs, your core a big stretch, we're going to move into a bridge pose. Plant the hands down, plant the bottoms of the feet, press them down and away to inhale to lift up the hips. Release through the glutes here, press more into the bottoms of the feet. Maybe walk the shoulder blades together onto the back body, and if you would like, you can interlace the fingers underneath of you. Keep the throat open, the belly filling up with the air. And then if you have that interlacing, you walk the hands, the shoulders apart, release the low back, one vertebrae at a time, down to the mat. Open up the feet as wide as the sticky mat, the knees to touch. Take the knees back and forth, windshield wipers left and then right. Maybe moving with your breath, the inhale to center, exhale over to one side. Inhale to center, exhale over to the other side. And once you are on the right side, then stay on the right side. Allow the knees to rest over here. One more breath right here. And then inhale, lift back up to center, the exhale over to the other side. Taking a few deep breaths here. Keeping those hands connected to the earth, the knees resting over to one side. Breathing into that right hip flexor. On your next in-breath, lift the knees back to center, maybe sweep from one side to another once again, and then drawing the knees in towards the chest, give yourself a big hug. Either stay here, rock side to side, or you can open up the knees to reach for the feet, either holding on to the outside edges of the feet or peace fingers around the big toes. Just start to bring yourself into a happy baby where the tailbone draws longer towards the earth. The knees come down more to the either sides as you press the bottoms of the feet up into the sky. And stay in stillness or move side to side until you are ready to get into this final resting pose, your Shavasana, releasing the breath, releasing the body, releasing all the muscles of the legs, all the muscles of the belly, releasing the shoulders, the neck, softening the facial muscles in the jaw, all the muscles around the eyes, smoothing out that space between the eyebrows on the forehead. And allow yourself to be here for a few moments to rest and integrate your practice. Beginning to bring that awareness back into the body, wiggling the fingertips and the toes, moving the ankles and the wrists, reaching the arms up overhead to give yourself a big stretch from head to toe, fingertips to feet. And then drawing the knees in towards the body, wrap the arms around the legs, give yourself this big hug. A very gentle hug, a warm embrace of love and kindness for yourself, just as you are. And then rolling over to the right side, resting the head on your arm as a pillow. And sensing into the body this sense of gratitude for the self, for your practice, for your body, for your efforts. And eventually making your way up for that comfortable seat into this cross-legged easy pose where the hands can rest. And then bringing the hands up to the heart center prayer. The hands are touching together where you can inhale to lift the chest into the thumbs and the exhale to breathe it all out. Keep the spine long, a few rounds of breath to stay engaged with your presence. Bowing the chin to the chest, looking into the heart, bringing a smile to the lips, up to the eyes. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you in this practice. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Mahalo.